Hare Rama. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtatara Satasri Srimad Srila Bhayacharana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Vedas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Govinda Gop Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Govinda Mandir Ki Jai. New York Samasta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Gaur Brahmanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. You know the news? Thank you. Which one? The news is Kamsa wants to kill all the children. And there was a fear in Vasudev Maharaj's heart that his son, he placed in the house of Nanda Maharaj, but nobody knows. And Nanda Maharaj is Vaishya, and Vasudev Maharaj is Kshatriya. So he did not want Nanda Maharaj to do any ceremony, name-giving ceremony especially, because he wants to give Krishna the name of Kshatriya. There's a very distinct. It's not a material caste system, it's a spiritual caste system. The whole spiritual rasa is there. So in the middle of the night, he sent a spy to call Gargacharya, his priest. He said, before sunrise, you go there and give the name. And he revealed, this is my son. Actually, nobody knows. Nobody in the whole world knows. Only me and my wife Devaki knows that middle of the night I placed him there. So please give the name in Kshatriya tradition before Nanda Maharaj does anything. So he came early morning, and Nanda Maharaj was so happy to see a sadhu early morning. Mother Yashoda also very much always serving attitude, just like New York devotees. Are you familiar with the New York devotees? Yeah, they are in a service mood, same mood like Brajavasis. So anyway, says, but shh, nobody should know this ceremony, because Kamsa, he gave a little brief, Kamsa is looking for a child. And he gave the whole story how slipped out this child of Devaki from his hand and told Kamsa, your killer is already born somewhere. So he's so agitated, he's sending all the messengers to kill all the children. So one of the name he gave was Vasudev. And I found 17 places in Prabhupada's comment, what is the meaning of Vasudev. So one of the meaning is that he is the predominating deity of consciousness. How do you know you are in New York? How do you know? Through the consciousness. You are aware that this place is called New York. So through the consciousness we are connecting, material or spiritual, So when Nanda Maharaj heard it, he saw some symptom with Gargacharya. Why? Because when he said this word Vasudev, son of Vasudev, he gave one explanation and the hearer get another explanation. He's thinking, my son, maybe some life took birth. But he said the truth, that he actually is a son of Vasudev, came here, so I'm giving you other name also. And Nanda Maharaj heard it, but it did not go in the heart. It went from ear to the head and it blocked there. He said, oh, maybe my son, some life it took birth. At that time, Gargacharya had a overwhelming, Sanatana Goswami Pad gives the commentary, it was overwhelming. Why? Because the lotus feet of Krishna, if you look at it, under the big toes, there's a Sudarshan Chakra is there. And there, form of Vasudeva is there also. He's also a form, but he's also there. When he saw this is my Ishtadev, he said his name is Vasudev, and he realized this is his object of worship. Then he went overwhelmed. So we can detect maybe when we chant that mantra, whether we have some feeling. Possible, if it is your Ishtadev. Hare Krishna Mother, Prabhupada Priya. Nice to see you. So Prabhupada introduced this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's also chanted by Dhruva Maharaj, but its origin is not Dhruva Maharaj. No name of Krishna here coming from Vaikuntha area. It's all coming from Vrindavan. Adokshaja, Putana rescue, Adokshaja name came. So Vasudev name given to Krishna in Golok Vrindavan originally. So we are going to recite 3 times. And you can detect your heart if you feel some attraction. If not, complain to them. They should give you. So fold your hand and meditate on Gargacharya gave that name. And Gargacharya fell in love seeing that. And hopefully, Lord will purify our consciousness and give our Ishtadev also in this life. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There was one thing when mistake, that when Gargacharya was exhibiting some symptom of chanting this name Vasudeva, Mother Yashoda thought something is not proper. What's going on? Are you seeing some bad symptom in my sons? Like, because he's reading his chart to give the name. So something said, no, because what Gargacharya wants to do. Can you imagine you meet your ultimate object of worship, what do you do? Say it? Faint. That's good. Well, if you faint, then how are you going to worship him? That's good though, it may happen. So he's going overwhelmed. He wants to bow down and do a big arati and announce the world, there is a supreme God. But he can't do it. Why he can't do it? Because Krishna came to play the role of child. Nobody should know in Vrindavan. At least Nanda Maharaj and Mother Rohini Maya and Yashoda Maya, whoever is around, nobody should know he is Supreme God. Then how they are going to give him breast milk and give him something? God doesn't need anything. You follow? So he got overwhelmed. I want to do it. The worst part? When he said, no, everything is good. Symptom is but the tears just dropped. Mother Yashoda said, please bless him. Put Krishna on his feet. Would you like Krishna to be on your feet? Whew. You know how much torture it is, emotional, ecstasy, torture? It is a torture. Because he wants to touch Krishna's feet, But Mother Jashoda thought something wrong with Krishna, put on his feet. Because he is Brahmana, he can purify. So this mantra is very powerful. You can meditate. Every day we are going to do, eternally. Huh? This is so nice. There are 7 pastimes on it, but just this is one little tips. Together. Narayanam namaskritam naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat nashtaprayesu abhadresu nittam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistaki Mukankarati vachalam pangullangayati girim jatkripatamaham bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. So today we are serving Canto 3, chapter 14, text 7, 8, 9. 9 has a purport, so we are going to respond on the 9. And then 7, 8 we are just going to read together if you want. Yeah. Together. Atha atrapi itihasayam srota me varnita pura brahmana deva devena devanam anuprichatam. Atha now. Okay, we can just read the translation, that's fine. We'll do on the same. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This history of the fight between the Lord as a boar and the demon Hiranyaksha was heard by me in a year long ago, as it was described by the foremost of the demigods, Brahma, when he was questioned by the other demigod. So I need some help. Who is speaking to who? Maitreya speaking to Vidura. Everybody got it? Okay. And now who is speaking here? Actually, Vyasdev. Suta Goswami also spoke there. Sukdev Goswami also spoke. Suta Goswami spoke. Maitreya Vidura before Sukdev Goswami spoke. Then after Sukdev Goswami spoke, Suta Goswami spoke. Which one is written, this Bhagavatam? Vyasdev, Dvaipayana. When did he write? 5,000 years. But there is something secret more, yes?
Before Shukadeva Goswami spoke it, he wrote it?
No. There was a Bhagavatam. But this Bhagavatam is a complete version. Dharma prajita kaitavatra parama nirmatsaranam satam veddam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayan mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite King Pare Ishara Saddharidi Avaruddate Susrushvi Tatskanan. So Mahamuni Krite, if you look at the word to word meaning, Prabhupada writes, and I found where Prabhupada got it also. Sanatana Goswami Pad writes in his Dasami Tippani that when Vyasdev came to maturity, means before, after Narad Muni's, not chastisement, that's not proper, correction, because there was a correction actually. You can't just avoid it. He said, so far you didn't glorify Krishna. He gave a many explanation. So correction is maybe appropriate, respectful way. So Narad Muni connection, he went to this Samadhi, Samadhi Yoga, the famous verse is there. Then in the Samadhi, after he wrote this, no more book. So that's why anybody except this Srimad Bhagavatam, do not waste time for any other book. This book itself is completely complete. I don't know if it's redundant English, but that's how I feel like. Completely complete. So this is very nice. Here, translation one more time. This history of the fight between the Lord as a boar And the demon Hiranyaksha was heard by me in a year long ago as it was described by the foremost of the demigods, Brahma, when he was questioned by the other demigods. Okay, text 8, together. Diti dakshaya nishkattar maricham kashyapam patim apattakam kame sandhayam richya vidita. Translation: Diti, the daughter of Daksha, Diti, yeah, daughter of Daksha, being afflicted with sex desire, begged her husband Kashyapa, the son of Marichi, to have intercourse with her in the evening in order to beget a child. Bhagavatam is like so scientific, like even you can literally prove. Anybody has a problem with the children? You trace it, you'll see that. It's not a coincidence. Bhagavatam saying 5,000 years back is written, but still today, the modern science, they find out that why some children are born with some kind of, the disease called schizophrenia. We call crazy, that's enough. So something like that. So text 9. Okay, today's verse. Isitta agni jihavam payasa purusham jayusham patim nimalochoti arke ashinam agni agre samahitam. Okay. Istagni jihabam payasa purusham jayusham patim nimlachati arka ashinam Agni-agre samahitam. Christian? Istagni jivam payasa Purusham jayusam patim Nimala chatyakra hasinam Agni agare samahitam. Istagni jivam payasa Purusham jayusam patim Nimlochati arka asinam Agni agre samahitam. Istagni jivam payasa Purusham yajusam patim Nusam arka asinam Agni samahitam. Istagni jivam payasa Purusham jayusam patim Nimlachis arka asinam Agni agare samahitam. Mothers. Istagni jivam payasa Purusham jajutam patim Nimlachakat asinam Agni dare samahitam. No more. Istagni jivam payasa Purusham jajusam patim Nimlachati arka asinam Agni agare samahitam. Thank you. The word-to-word meaning, synonyms. Istva, after worshipping. Agni,
Agni,
fire.
fire.
Jivam,
Jivam,
tongue.
tongue.
Payasa,
Ayasa,
by oblation.
by oblation.
Purusham,
Purusham,
unto the Supreme Person.
unto the Supreme Person.
Yayusam,
Yajusam,
of all sacrifices.
all sacrifices.
Patim, master.
Master,
Nimlochoti,
Nimlochoti,
while setting.
all set.
Arke, the sun.
Sun,
Ashinam,
Ashinam,
sitting.
sitting.
Agni agre,
Agni Agare,
Agni agare,
Agni Agare,
in the sacrificial hall.
in the sacrificial hall.
Samahitam,
Samahitam,
completely in trance.
completely in trance.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the sun was setting and the sage was sitting in trance after offering oblation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, whose tongue is the sacrificial fire. Purport: fire is considered to be the tongue of the Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. An oblation of grains and clarified butter offered to the fire are thus accepted by him. This is the principle of all sacrifice, of which Lord Vishnu is the master. In other words, the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu includes the satisfaction of all demigods and the living and other living beings. So I am begging mercy and prayers from all of you. So I can say something that will be aligned with Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara, and it will affect our consciousness, and transformation takes place in my heart, also in your heart. Om Ajnanati Mirandasa Gyenanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurube Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpa Taruvescha Kripa Sindhubhaya Vacha Patitanam Pavunebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namam Vrindaye Tulasi Devaye Priyaye Kesavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Sattavate Namo Namam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is a beautiful verse. The whole chapter is wonderful. When there is an inquiry, then the speaker or the senior devotee, they see who is asking the question and the subject that the person is asking indicates where that person, in what level of consciousness is situated. What is the need? Bhagavad Gita began with question of Dhritarashtra. Bhagavatam began also with 6 questions. Here also the demigod asked the question to Brahmaji, which is narrated by here Maitreya Rishi to Vidura. Same question, so he is bringing that reference, and you're going to do that to somebody else. And that's how it will continue. It's wonderful. The main focus I notice on Prabhupada's purport is importance of jagna. And there are many verses in Bhagavad Gita emphasize. The question is, do we need to learn jagna or we should just chant Hare Krishna? Your life itself is jagna. Jagna is not something somewhere else. Because when Krishna spoke to Arjuna that you should do karma yoga, jagna, Arjuna says, why you are encouraging me to involve in this ghastly warfare? If the purpose of life is to liberate ourselves and go back home, and if I am a candidate to do Jnana Yoga, can't I just go to the forest and study scriptures until death comes and then I'm done? I'm peaceful. I'll be peaceful there, I'll be liberated. Krishna says, no. Even though Jnana Yoga is higher than Karma Yoga, you should do Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means jagna. So then Arjuna was not satisfied. Krishna is very most lovable reciprocator you will ever find. If you ever disappointed with some relationship with some friend or something, you should always focus to reciprocate with Krishna. You will never be disappointed. Because Krishna covers every angle. So he said you should do karma yoga, jagna. But then he sees the face, face indicate whether person is completely satisfied or not. So not satisfied, then Krishna says, there's a famous verse in 3rd chapter, 9 sloka. Jagyartha karmana annatra lokayam karma bandhana tadartha karma konteya mukta sangha samachar. Krishna gives so wonderful answer. Why you have to do jagna? Why you have to do karma yoga? Actually, most of us, we are all doing karma yoga. Prabhupada writes in Krishna consciousness, action in Krishna consciousness. If you, I'm sure you heard the story of Atma Tattva Prabhu, who came back from book distribution and he told Prabhupada, I met these big Mayavadis, and as I was trying to distribute the book in South India, that part, they say, you go to him, he's our main man. So he went to the teacher, big Mayavadi, he didn't know that. He said, I want to sell this Bhagavad Gita. He said, no, I don't want it. He said, why? This all over the world is spreading this Krishna consciousness. How can you don't want? He said, I already went through this. He went through Prabhupada's book. And he said, your Maharaj translate Karma Yoga as an action in Krishna consciousness. Where do you find Krishna here? Everywhere he find little bit touch of yoga or anything, he put Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. There is nothing else. So Atmatattva Prabhu was not fully aware. Oh, there is upset. He was upset. It's not that he doesn't want the book. He already have the book. He went through the book. Of course, he was finding fault in it. Was not actually went through the book like it. So Atmatattva Prabhu came back and he told Prabhupada. So I went today to this, and he narrated the story. And Prabhupada started laughing. He said, oh, he got it. He got. Because it is what Krishna meant, Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. Now question comes, why? I mean, we should also ask, why? So Prabhupada gave a beautiful purport, 3.35, you will see, in the whole third chapter is all about Karma Yoga. He says that you are born with a nisarga. Jatra nisarga nirvaira. Nisarga means assumed nature. You can call it psychophysical nature. Assumed nature. Every soul in New York, I mean all over the world, they are born with a particular assumed nature. Means it is not their original nature. That's why I don't say it's nature only. Because nature is confusing. Soul, we have a three existence. We have a conditional, physical level. You have a body, male body, female body. Then you have a subtle body, that you're thinking, you're feeling, emotion. Then you have a soul proper. So you have a three existence right now. When we think of assumed nature, so let me ask you the question. Somebody help me. Is conditioned souls conditioning where? Which part of the contamination made it condition? Is it the soul, or is it the subtle body, or the physical body, or the process that you follow? Is it the bhakta? Okay, let me ask this. Is it the bhakta or bhakti? Bhakta. Is the bhakta the soul, or bhakta the subtle body, or bhakta the physical body? I see you have a neck beads, tilakam, bhakta, you are pure bhakta. No, I mean according to Shastra, you are pure bhakta. You have a tilakam, you have a neck beads. And you are chanting Hare Krishna. It didn't say anything more. So where is the contamination? Subtle body. Very good. Subtle body is the contamination. The soul is forever pure. You follow? Physical body is just a reciprocation to the physical world. Soul does not have a connection. Just like a mango seed. If Prabhu wants to eat mango, he wants to taste the mango. He has the mango seed. Is that enough? No. He has to do what? He has to sow it. Where? On the ground. That's called physical body. The importance of physical body that we have is where actually bhakti going to be fructifying. Destroying this physical body is not going to help you. That's why you are condemned to the suicide or wasting time without bhakti. Because this prema, that seed form that we have, the origin prema, it will manifest through this physical body when subtle body is purified. Until that, no. So the process is to purify the subtle body, but through the physical body. So you need both. It's a very, very perfectly designed by Krishna. Krishna says, Nidaham addam sulabam sudurlabam, plabam sukalpam guru karnadharam. Nideha, ni means human body, deha means body. Nidaham addam sulabam, he says, very rare. Very rare, this human body. Krishna told this to Uddhava in 11th canto. And said, Plabam sukalpam, this body is like a boat. Plabam means to cross the material ocean. It's like a boat. Where Guru Karna Dharam, Guru is a captain. And so, Prabhupada writes, it's very interesting, even though he did not translate the 11th canto, but that sloka was forwarded in a purport. He writes that ISKCON is like a boat. Like, whoa, ISKCON is a boat. So, it's a body. Prabhupada extended Krishna's word to relevant to our life. We have to stay in ISKCON, but it's difficult to stay in ISKCON sometime. But we have to create an atmosphere that we feel this is the place we belong. This is what the boat means. Not just the name ISKCON. It's a vibrant devotee where they practice devotional practice. That is ISKCON. Just like you all. Dancing, chanting, encouraging, inspiring each other. I went the other day Harinam. Every devotee inspiring each other. Unfortunately, few karmis trying to avoid. I saw Jimmy was like trying to talk everybody. He doesn't want to miss anybody pass by. But not everybody is fortunate. But we are trying to make. So, wherever you see the cooperation, unity in diversity, those concepts are fully intact. That's why our ISKCON is booming. Not criticizing. That's not the ISKCON Prabhupada says. Was the Jashodanandan Maharaj's conversation. It was very interesting. He said, there's so much problem sometime. Prabhupada said, yes. So the society, Prabhupada said, ISKCON is like a beautiful girl. Now if you pay very close attention, the girl also pass stool and urine. Does it mean her, hey, I didn't say, Prabhupada gave a very good example. Does it mean her beauty is gone? Can you relate to that? So ISKCON may have what I'm trying to say, what Prabhupada said, ISKCON may have some problem here, there. That's not ISKCON. You follow? The beauty of the girl is not gone, but she may pass stool and urine. She does. So that's what Prabhupada, so I like the way Prabhupada future, he sees what is going to happen. Hare Krishna Maharaj. You should sit here, Maharaj, not. So, when we think of a devotee society, we should think like that. A place where 5 things happen, 11.3.30, it says ISKCON devotees. It didn't say exact word ISKCON, but Krishna says the devotee association means this. Maharaj empowered me yesterday. He gave me so much Harikatha, I got like a overwhelming, so it's coming out something. Parasparam, you have the verse already, wow. Parasparam anukatha, pavanam bhagavad jaso. When we think of association of devotee means, you have to endeavor. Don't think just meeting sannyasi or a senior devotee means association, no. Yes, there is a purification rule there, but you have to be inquisitive, be submissive. You have to endeavor. That's why the translation, if you look at it, very unique. Even I asked the translator, one of the translator, he passed away, this Prabhu, but he said, oh no, this I got it from Sanatan Goswami Pad. He said, you have to endeavor for sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is not just sitting next to another senior devotee, but you have to endeavor. Endeavor means what can I do to please that person, that devotee, that he will be mercifully, then there will be some conversation or some exchange will be there. So first point is endeavor. I hope we all remember it. Second point, parasparam anukata pavanam bhagavad jaso. Has to be some glorification of Bhagavat. Bhagavat, Krishna, Bhakta and Bhakti. 3 together is called Bhagavat. So the discussion has to be related to some preaching or some sadhan bhakti or about some devotee or Bhagavan or his qualities like this. There has to be some discussion in order to call this sadhu sangha. Second. Third is, make sure the person you are communicating, reciprocating, there is a good relationship developed. You have to endeavor. That's why at the beginning it says you have to endeavor. Good relation, respectful, devotional attitude develops. And if you do this, first 4 things, then the 5th things, your unmanifested impression. We have 2 types of impression, according to Madhurya Kadambini of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. One is called Praktan Sanskar, means you carrying so many impressions for millions of life that you pass through. If it is not fulfilled, you still have it. And the second part, it says how you grow up in this life, your upbringing. So these 2 impressions, when we join in Krishna consciousness, is there, need to be purified. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sanatan Shiksha, he says, Geni Gena Joge Kariya Jatane Brahmera Shakshat Kare, Brahma Shakshatkar Aprarabdha Karma Sampurna Genete Hare. I don't know if any one of you ever felt like this, like I'm chanting for decades. What's supposed to happen? Nothing happening. Why? What is going on? Maybe none of you ever felt like this because you all are advanced. But I was not advancing, so I was like questioning, what is happening? Why? Prana Govinda, where are you? So that verse is answered. I was so happy, believe it or not, I was dancing actually. I put the book down and started dancing and chanting for a few minutes. Because Mahaprabhu actually answered that. He said, when you associate, you join, he didn't say exactly you join like that. He said, you come in contact with devotees, then you start 3 things. You contact, okay, I'll come after this, otherwise I'll go off. So then he says, very interesting, that when you start beginning of this devotional process, then first thing it does, that just imagine like a hunter. So hunter has a quiver with a bunch of arrows. And he is holding the bows and he shot the first arrow. Now when he shot the arrow, which is out of his hand, how much control that hunter has on the arrow that going to hit someone or something? Huh? You have a doubt? The arrow is released from the hand. How much control? Now he realized, oh no, it is going to hit to the person. I didn't want to hit that. But how much control he has on that arrow? Louder.
Nothing.
Thank you. Nothing. This is called this body you have, that you are born with. It has a pre-program. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this to his mother when he came back from Bangladesh. Prabhu kahe suko teji, suko means give up lamentation, because his wife passed away when he came back from Bangladesh. So they are all crying. Nobody's telling what's happening. So then Ishan, the servant, he told, oh, Bodhi means the mother, your wife passed away. So Mahaprabhu gave beautiful slokas. But first sloka he says, Sukoteji, give up this lamentation, mother. Prabhu kohe Sukoteji sunamora mata, nirvanda naguchen likhan vidata. When humans are born, not the animals, when humans are born, Brahmaji personally comes and he writes, this you're going to experience. And I found many examples in Prabhupada gave us 17 classes according to Veda base. I didn't say 17 according to me. Veda base shows that 17 classes on that sloka. Tashyeva hetu prajatetu kavida. The famous verse about this karma, how it works. And Prabhupada gave 17 classes. And he hint like it is already fixed. You can't do much. Prabhupada said in Vrindavan on this sloka, he said, you are destined to get 10,000, you will not get 9,999 or 10,001. I said, wow, that's very specific. It's like how specific you can be. On that sloka he says, If you finish 27%, you will begin with 28% next life. Very specific on that sloka. It's the same related. Prahlad Maharaj also talked about it. Sukham indrekam daitya dehajogena dahina sarvatra labbati doivat jatha dukkavada jatnata. Prabhupada also talk about that. So come to this point that you are born with a particular pre-programmed what is going to unfold. Nothing can change. Gyani Gyana Yoga Kariya Jatane Brahmara Shakshat Kare. So when you practice, it depends on two things, Prabhupada said, intensity and purity. How intense you are to advance in spiritual path and how pure your desire, not mixed with any mundane desire. Yeah, I want to have a good time also. Or you want to be like straightforward. I want to be serious and be really no offense and just with devotional attitude you want to advance. Then Mahaprabhu explained that those arrows in your back quiver, Mahaprabhu didn't say about the arrow, I'm just giving that example. It will be all broken. Means no more future birth. First thing happened that your all future karma or birth is completely smashed. It may take 2 decades, 5 decades, I don't know. It may take 1 decade or 1 year or 1 day. It depends on your intensity and purity. And I was talking to Govinda Prabhu about one sloka, one class Prabhupada gave, and we took from those 2 words from that class Prabhupada. Intensity and purity. But when out or released from your hand, this body right now, with this impression inside and outside, physical, is fixed. Only one loophole. Until Mahaprabhu came, nobody knew that. So end of those whole series of verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita, at the end there is a beautiful verse, he says, Kintu he naam tavaspurti hale ekanti janera aro prarabdha aprarabdha kichu nahi thake bede gaye baro baro. Only the holy name or pure, if you can elevate your consciousness to access this pure goodness, at that moment, this body and the subtle body also dissolve. Dissolve doesn't mean you die. Dissolve means it's completely spiritualized. So if you say how much, it depends on you. It's not really depend on the process, or it depends on you, how pure, how advanced you want to become. So individually, each devotee's progression depends on the 2 things, the mercy, association of the devotee, and his willingness, how seriously he wants to advance. So back to this. Oh, it's almost like 9 o'clock. Is that okay? Just a few minutes. I'll try to finish it. There are few verses in Bhagavad Gita about this whole chapter has related. One of the verse I love a lot is 424. Because it talks about Jagna. What is Jagna? Even though the word is only one word is there. Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir. So if you look at it, each Brahma means something else. Not all Brahma is not a Brahma Jyoti. Brahma here, Prabhupada meant spiritual. So when you look at this verse, I'm going to summarize in 1-2 minutes, that we should look at our life, and you can compare to Arjuna's life. When Arjuna told Krishna, okay, you glorifying about Jagna, 3rd chapter you will see many verses about Jagna. Jagyartat karmana annatra, directly, Jagna. Also 5th chapter, now 6th chapter also I remember there's so many verses of Jagna. So Arjuna says, okay, should I do Jagna? I should go to the forest and do the fire hoben. This is what even in ISKCON we devotee think sometimes. Oh, there will be Jagna Prabhu. We think like there will be some kind of a square pit where the fire and the ghee will be poured. But that's not what Krishna meant. Krishna says, Arjuna, this is the Jagna stall. Means this is the place, the battlefield is the place where you do the Jagna. He said, how I'm going to offer? I need a spoon. He said, your Gandiva is the spoon. This is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave the commentary on that 424. He said, your bow and arrow is the spoon. What about the ghee to fire? Is the core of us, 640 million. You're going to start offering them one by one. And who is going to take it? You? He said, no, universal form, my expansion. I'll show you. Universal form going to eat all this. So then Arjuna's whole psychophysical nature is changed. Oh, I am the one who is doing the jagna here. Each of our life also, if you look at it, each of us, we are doing jagna. Jagna, here Prabhupada writes, very beautiful, 4.32, Prabhupada says, jagna means selfless sacrifice. Period. It is not a fire sacrifice. I mean, it is also fire sacrifice. But in our life, we think every day, what are you doing right now? You're hearing about Krishna. This is sacrifice. You want to progress. It is also existing in the spiritual world. There's a famous few verses spoken by Radharani in Ratha Jatra. The Prabhupada gave a beautiful purport on this. Nagoni apana dukkha, save banchi tara sukha. Radharani says, it's okay, you don't have any fault. You left us, you went here, there, you have a right to do whatever you want. But if you are pleased, what are you doing? That your happiness is multiply millions and billion times to my happiness. Even if you giving me pain, but you are happy to perform some activity that you went for, that will give me the highest pleasure. So Prabhupada writes, this is a pure selfless sacrifice. So Radharani is the emblem of selfless sacrifice. What do you think from morning till evening, what do you do? That's all it is. Now, you may have a doubt in the heart, like everything is sacrifice, everything I do in the life. Yes, how to see it? So I'll give a very quick analogy. There's a two-way we have to look at it. One is compositional sense. Compositional sense means the soul is made of Satchid Ananda. The subtle body and the physical body, each of you or mine, is not made of Satchidananda. So compositionally that is material. Satchidananda is spiritual and the material elements 7.4 Bhumi Apa Anala Vayu. So this subtle body, Krishna gave all these 8 elements, is material. So two things, material and spiritual. So here is Jagna, today's purport. Jagna means you have to think always application sense, not only compositional sense. How it is applied or utilized. So when a ISKCON guru, from morning till evening, because I know Radhanath Maharaj is casual sometime. I know many devotees, like Indradumna Maharajas, I was spending some time in Woodstock. If you look at from morning till evening, what they do, what they think, how they do, these 8 elements is completely for Krishna's pleasure. Even they go to sleep, I need to give rest to this body so it can function better to please Krishna. So going to sleep, going to toilet, this body need to be healthy, maintain healthy. So going to toilet. Everything they do from morning till evening, it's completely offered to Krishna, Krishna's pleasure. So because it is offered to Krishna's pleasure, their senses, their sense object, whatever they, the whole operation you may see from externally, because it is offering to Krishna utilization, then it is 100% spiritualized. That body is object of worship. I'm not against the Christianity or anything. They have a, buried the tomb and all. Muslim also they do. That's not proper. Their body has to be 100% dedicated to God. Otherwise the soul suffer. But in our spiritual practice, those who are 100% dedicated, their body is worshipable object. So this is what spiritualized and this is what Jagna means. And you all are doing this every day. Your body is becoming spiritualized. Your subtle body, physical body is becoming spiritualized. That doesn't mean every thought that coming to you is spiritualized. No, something you have to do. It is not automatically. You have to direct the consciousness towards pleasing Krishna. If it is not pleasing Krishna, stop it, cut it off right there. You have no control what is going to pass through your mind. Desire, emotion, you don't have a control really, because it's coming from the impression. Previous impression, we don't know how many million births we went through. But we do have 100% control on our consciousness, our willpower, our choice, 100% we have. We can direct every thought where it's going to go. Now you may say like, well, I don't know where it's going to go or what it will produce. That you have to develop from the association of Sadhu and Bhagavatam class. If I let this thought goes little more than few moments contemplating. Contemplating means there is a reflection. You have no choice. So you are not responsible for what thought or emotion pass through you, but you are responsible for their dominance. That's why sometimes devotee may suffer, because they didn't control it. They let it go. And you will suffer. Because Krishna wants you to come back quick, more than you want to go. So he's arranging it. He's not fault. You are initiating cause. You are the cause of that. He sanctioned it, but you cannot accuse it. And Mayadevi is instrumental cause, means she manifests the thing. So we have to look at like this, then we can guide every day, every moment in our life, and you can all become pure devotee. I'm sure you all are already, or you are going towards that. It's up to you, when, how soon you want. It's very practical. Krishna consciousness is very practical. So I'll end here. But I'll give you one little story. I'm sorry, I was supposed to say. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name was Nimai, Pandit, we say Nimai. So Nimai, when he was checking out all the Brahmanas in Navadvip, one day he went to one Brahmana's house. He said, wow, you are offering nice candy and raw rice. So Nimai, he's a supreme absolute truth, but Brahmana did not know. So he's asking, can I ask you a question? You offering this is a jagna, sacrifice. You offering this raw rice and candy. Do you eat raw rice? So the Brahmana looked at Nimai and said, why are you asking me this question? You think I don't know? I'm a Brahmana? He said, no, I'm just curious. You're offering to God to eat this, but I wonder, do you eat rice, dal, sabji and all this big luxury? I don't see you offering that. You're offering something. I don't know, maybe none of you know. I grew up in a village in my early life, and I saw everybody in the Hindu culture, that's what they do. What they eat, they don't offer. They will buy some candy or something for God. Every day they will offer. But they will eat everything, big meal with this. They never offer this to God. So I can relate immediately when I read this many years back. So Mahaprabhu challenged it. So then this Brahmana got so angry. He said, Nimai, you teaching me what to offer, what not to offer. I am a Brahmana, you are a little kid, little boy. Mahaprabhu says, yes, you think you know a lot. You are like an elephant. Elephant think he's a big, but intelligence is so little. That's why they're called elephant. It's better you become elephant. You know what happened? That Brahmana became elephant. And he got delivered by Rasikananda Prabhu. You know the story, Rasikananda Prabhu delivered elephant. That's the elephant where it comes from. So sometimes we put a logic in our day-to-day practice. Why this, that? Don't put logic. Just accept it, the acharyas. And I may not understand it, but just go with it. Eventually you will see it will clear up. Otherwise we may have to take a birth like an elephant or something, hopefully. But it's not bad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you. Any correction? from Maharaj or anybody, or reflection, or any discussion, or any. I'm sorry, I went over.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhu Govinda Prabhu, thank you very much for your class. Very enlivening to be in your association, Prabhu. So I had a question. I had first a thought on something you said when you were talking about how the thoughts are coming in. I just imagine like a desktop screen. You have like the little garbage can. You could just put the thoughts right in there. That's garbage. Forget about that. And then I was just thinking, as far as the same.
We had a spam filter,
That's nice.
And then I was thinking, every day we're performing the Sankirtan Yajna, so we're going out, chanting the holy names, distributing books. Sometimes they may seem like the thought may come in, how is this actually taking effect? I've been doing this day after day, year after year, and what's actually happening? Who's being affected? Is anything happening? We're just chanting Hare Krishna, we're just distributing these books. What is what's actually going on?
According to that discussion, Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami Pad, first thing we do, we dissolve our subtle body. And Prabhupada said, one lecture, he said, just like this man may be sleeping and his family may see, oh, he's sleeping, but the soul went on dreaming. I'm paraphrasing what Prabhupada said. So actually the body is there, but the subtle body took the soul roaming wherever. So in the beginning of our spiritual life, we are purifying the subtle body. We may not experience physically anything. 40 years I'm chanting, nothing I see, I'm getting old and getting sick. But whatever the subtle body is done, subtle body is completely pure maybe. If you die right now, you will be in spiritual world. What is the harm? But I cannot see it. Well, that's true. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave an example. He said, Krishna purposely handles all the devotees. Once you are initiated, congratulations, you are under Krishna's management. 10.14.8. You look at the purport. It is Prabhupada's purport. Even though Prabhupada didn't translate that 14th chapter, but it's from Prabhupada's purport from Chaitanya Charitamrita, forwarded there by Ridhanda Maharaj. So in the middle, Prabhupada writes, it should not be considered karma. When the devotee, like Jarabharat, he said, it is not considered karma. We are not doing karma. Once you are initiated, you are actually under Krishna's internal potency. But she will arrange a way how to purify your heart. May not be pleasant all the time, or majority time. I may have a lot of dirt, she has to remove it, and I don't let it go. Now, it's easy to rub like this, but actually it may, like a hammering. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, hitting and hammering. I was like, oh, sounds good. No, hitting and hammering sounds good. If you are that iron piece, they put in a fire, and then they he hammered it. Then again need to be little bit shaped, put in the fire. Fire, fire? It's called pain in English. Fire means pain. The devotee have a headache or a disease or somebody insulted. You go through like a tremendous, like a purification. But you feel like, why? Because you're becoming a beautiful gem, Krishna going to hold you on his finger as a ring. But before that, guru is hammering and hitting. So, subtle body is purified. You will not experience. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, even a most advanced purified devotee, Krishna gives some kind of disease. Because sometime when they already cross the material ocean, they may be in New York, they cross the material ocean, but they don't feel any suffering of this world. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, the devotee may think like, it's not bad. This world is not bad. But Krishna doesn't want him to live here. So you come back, so some disease is given by Krishna. Told Jogamaya, put a disease. So the devotee say, oh, this world is terrible, I don't want to suffer. Okay, let's get out. Okay, just to come, as actually disease has nothing to do with that devotee. Krishna just put it. It makes sense? So everything we have to see from the Shastra Chakshu, that Krishna is purifying. Your heart is purifying. Subtle body is purifying. But Krishna has a purpose. He wants us to act like an instrument. We want to be instrument of His grace. And that's what you all do every day. I see that. So inspiring. But my request is also inspire other devotees in other temples also. Try to do that. Because I don't know, Maharaj told me he doesn't travel much. He's like, took a Kshetra sannyas. He didn't say that, but some temples are, I'm sure you have experience, some temple is like it needs some spiritual boost, some inspiration, attraction. In that verse 11.3.30, actually one Acharya gave a commentary on that. Many commentary, but one commentary he says, association means inspiration and attraction. If you don't have this, it is not an association. You must feel inspiration towards Guru Krishna, and some attraction was not there, just developed. Just like Vaishashik Prabhu, we were chanting after Mangalarti. So we were chanting, after some time he stops. He said, okay, let's recite some verses. So we recite some verses. Jadubhar Prabhu was there. We were like few of us in Alachua. And after that, then we chanted again. And then after some time, we stopped again. So it's like a reflection, assimilation. You chant, and then you focus. Because as you are saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says also in 19th chapter, Madhulila, Kutinati Jiva Hingsha, that verse gives that when you are becoming serious, daily book distribution, Harinam and all this, guess what happened? Agacha, unwanted thing also popping in your heart. But why? I'm seriously trying. Why? Because those things, seeds are there. They never had a chance to fructify. So you become a good gardener, and with your desire, Krishna going to throw it. If you read it on 4.29 or 69, Purport Prabhupada writes, sometimes devotee may feel their life journey is more trouble than outsider. Why? Because he gives a good logic. I'm paraphrasing. Prabhupada gives a good logic. Because say Prana Govinda Das, he's a rascal. He wants to be the king of the world. He wants to marry the most beautiful girl. He wants to have a helicopter. You cannot imagine, Maharaj, you lost those craving. But those craving I had, so I want to be the richest man in the world, all kinds of things. Then I become Hare Krishna devotee. And then guess what? The devotee tells them to pray to Krishna. Let's get out from the material world and take as many devotees with you. Okay, my Lord, please, I want to go back home. I want to go back home. Krishna inside thinking, is the same guy wanted all these hundreds of things? And he wants to come back to me now. What I do? Krishna also has a huge job. Right now he's listening. I'm sure he's probably laughing that they are talking about my job. Yes, Krishna actually, Prabhupada write in the purport that Krishna looks at this devotee wants so many things, so many lives, and his all impression is there. All of a sudden, Hare Krishna society, he came and he wants to come back home. And he wants to come back home when? End of this life. Oh. But Krishna is so kind, he's never going to destroy all the impression. He's going to give you as a token. Because Krishna, just like Dhruva Maharaj, he came with the idea of bigger kingdom than his grandfather or father. Did Krishna deprive him? No. He said that I don't want anything anymore. I just want to serve you. Krishna says, yes, but you came for not that purpose. So stay some time for that kingdom. So we have to go through this. And if you really don't want any of the material experience anymore, you really pray to Krishna, I don't want it, I don't want it. Prabhu, I know I have a desire coming, I don't want it, please help me, please help me. Then Krishna will remove. Krishna will not remove whimsically or dictatorship. He will remove, he will reciprocate with you. If you really don't want anything in life materially, you have to pray. He's not going to remove, as a, it says, Vidunuti Surissatam, Srinnata Sagata Krishna. Vidunuti means very nicely, he will clean your heart. But if you look at the purport Prabhupada writes, the devotee prays, then Krishna reciprocate. So it's a reciprocal. It's not a dictator like that. Is that make sense? Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. It's too late. We better have prasadam. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Maharaj ki jai.
So many things.
I know, so many things, Maharaj. It's heavy. This garland.
Big garland. You should get one of those garlands. That's even bigger. You put the garland on and you fall off from the exercise.
Thank you, Maharaj, for blessing me.
The demigods are blessed.
Yeah.